6 principles of persuasion. What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here. Today's video is all about the 6 principles of persuasion, how you can start to add these to your copywriting, to your sales processes, and to your brand in order to sell more stuff online. Before I get into that, though, if this is the first time here, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to you. My name is Jamie Gardiner. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer, also coach for a program. We've got well over 680 students absolutely crushing it with their affiliate marketing business. We're fortunate enough to win the ClickFunnels 2 Common Club Award that you can see behind me there in February 2021, which is awesome. And we've gone from strength to strength ever since. So if you'd like to keep up with what I'm up to, this is basically me documenting the last 10 years that I've been online. And feel free to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to check out the links in the description if you'd like to get a little bit more detail on how I might be able to help you out with your business. Right, dive straight into it. So these are basically universal. You're going to find this in copywriting, you're going to find this in sales, you're going to find this in brands as well. And of course, the cool thing about what we're doing online is that even if you have a very small brand, you're actually able to leverage a lot of these things in order to start selling more stuff. So just going to run through them really quickly. Number one is authority. I'm going to explain a little bit more detail how you can start to develop these within your own brand as well. But just an overview, authority, number one, consistency. Number two, reciprocity. Number three, number four is social proof. Number five is scarcity. And number six is the like and trust factor. So this is basically something developed by Robert Cialdini. I highly recommend his book. It is Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. Absolutely incredible book, and learned a ton about human influence based on that as well. So highly recommend that book. Go pick that up. In fact, I might even leave a link below. It's well worth picking up. So how do we start to develop these, and why are these important? Well, if you think about some of the buying triggers and why people do buy stuff, and to give you a kind of a random case study example here, imagine if someone that you respect in whatever field that you're in just says, hey, listen, we got this thing, it's going to be awesome, and it's a 6-week long program, and give me 5K, right? And depending on the level of authority that they have, is going to determine how easy and how fluid that process is going to be for that sales mechanism, right? And so to give you guys, an interesting sort of case study that I've used a couple of times is, imagine if Russell Brunson swoops down and says, hey, listen, I've got this thing, 6 weeks, I'm going to work with you one-on-one to develop your business. We're going to help you scale to 7 figures. It's only going to be $1,000. Like, you wouldn't, like, if that would be all he would need to say. In fact, even if he just said, hey, give me $1,000 and we'll do some work together, you'd just go, yep, sure, here's, no worries, bang, here you go. I'll find it somehow, right? Because he's got crazy amounts of authority. Now, like I say, you don't necessarily need to have that level of authority, but what we can do is take some of these elements. So what's the way that you can develop authority in this business, and especially what we're doing online, right? So one way is it's actually going to be a bit of crossover with some of these things as well, so just bear that in mind. But you can start to manufacture authority by things like social proof. This is actually one of my favorite ways to do so, and I'm going to basically double up here, but you'll get the point. So testimonials, very, very powerful. Testimonials. So if you're brand new to affiliate marketing, you're brand new to this online stuff and brand building, you're probably wondering, well, okay, I'm new, I don't really know anything. Like, how can I get testimonials, and why would anyone listen to me? But what I'm here to tell you is that no matter where you are in your journey, there's always there is someone that hasn't learned what you have learned to date, right? And don't underestimate your own journey, because it could be just something really simple. Like, for example, I do Facebook organic marketing as my main thing at the moment. So it could be quite simply like, here's how to change the banner on your profile in order to attract your ideal clientele. Bang, there you go. That's something that you know. Or how to set up a Facebook group. It takes like 15 seconds, but it might be a couple of little tweaks that you can make it that's going to help someone else out. Could be, dismantling false beliefs. You don't necessarily need a funnel to get started with affiliate marketing. Boom, mind blown, right? So these things, if you jump on a call with someone and you say, hey, listen, I'm going to help you out. There's nothing to sell here, but what I do want is, at the end of it, if you have a good experience, if you just let me give you a couple of lines in Messenger, or if you're comfortable doing so, just a quick video just saying what you got out of it, bang, testimonial. So imagine if you get 5 of these as a video in particular. What you can do is you can leverage that. And what I mean by that is you can start to take the transcription of that. Sorry, folks. Frog in my throat. I had to pause the video. Anyway, we're back. All right, cool. So testimonials is one thing. That's one way to develop your own sense of authority. Very, very simple way to do that. The other one is, and interestingly enough, I'm going to double up with pretty much everything here, but social proof is the other one. So I'm actually going to type it. So social proof. What does social proof mean? It's basically the premise that humans are designed in a way that we often will make our decisions based on the validity of that thing based off other humans also validating that for us, right? And so it can work in all contexts of your life. So think about things like it used to work very well in dating for me back in the day. That would work exceptionally well, but it carries off over to other things. So in Facebook, for example, one of the things we tell our students to do is get engagement. Now, engagement on its own is something that I call a vanity metric. You could stumble upon someone's profile; they might have 300 likes and 300 comments, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're making a ton of cash. But what it does mean is your instant subconscious thought is, wow, they must know some stuff. They've been validated by all these other people that have commented and liked and stuff, right? So social proof, very, very powerful to build your authority. Consistency. This is, the reason why I like these things is that we can control all of these, right? We can control them all. Consistency. How do you manufacture that? Well, you just got to be consistent. I don't know. Commit to, like, say for example, you're doing a YouTube video. Commit to doing one once a week. Knock it out at the same time. My stuff is all over the shop, so don't model what I'm doing clearly. But if you did want to set a schedule, that's a very powerful way to do that. Every Tuesday, we're going to release a video. Bang, 8 a.m. You release that video. If you're on the likes of Facebook and you're doing what I'm doing, maybe you're going to produce a story every day. Maybe you're going to produce a post in your group every day. Maybe you're going to produce a podcast every day. Whatever it is for you, just make sure that you are being consistent with that. I don't know what else to write this. Bloody good. Be consistent, all right? God damn it. Reciprocity. This is a really powerful one. So we have a subconscious bias that if we are given anything of a perceived value, there is a subconscious bias to want to return that favor. In most instances, there are outliers to this. There's maybe psychopaths don't want to, or sociopaths they perhaps don't have any interest in giving anything back at all. There's narcissists, there's taking. But for pretty much everyone else, reciprocity will ensue. And so it can mean anything. You could be giving them anything of a perceived value. So I could make this little document I've made. I could make it look all pretty and put some stickers and stuff on it. Wait, I think I've got stickers here. There we go. There you go. Sticker. Wow, there you go. So we made it look all pretty, right? So now it has a perceived value. Now, I'm clearly joking, but you get the point. Don't overthink this process, right? What I'm saying is that if you have something that helps that other person out, it gives them a mindset shift. It gives them something that is going to help them grow their business, something that is going to change the way that they sell. Maybe you say something like, hey, don't inflect the words upwards at the end of your sentence when you're on a sales call, when you're asking for the sale. Kill the sale. Shows a lack of confidence. Try it the other way around and flick downwards. Oh my God, I've just tried it and it worked. Bang. What can I give you in return? Cash. That's what. No, I'm kidding. But jokes aside, what you can do is people, like I say, they are more inclined to do stuff, right? So if you're able to give something of a perceived value, so let's go with, say, oops, get rid of this guy. How do we do this? There we go. Oh no. Okay, there we go. So we could say, for example, lead magnets. I've had something of value. You've shown value first before you've answered the sale, right? You've taken. They can be in the form of, say, videos, Google Docs. Don't overthink it. So if you want to get it pretty, go into Canva and knock out something. It's pretty easy. How to use Canva? Here you go. Use Canva. Right, any of these things, these are all lead magnets anyway. It's the same much of the muchness, right? But these are all ways that you can start to develop that reciprocity. So it doesn't mean that everyone's going to buy it. Everyone feels that subconscious bias to want to give back, but there's a tendency there for it. If I've had something of value from you, it aligns you with what their thoughts are in terms of the buying process. I'm just going to write show up daily. Right. Social proof. So obviously covered this a little bit, but things like testimonials. If you've been validated by other people, and there's other people that are going, hey, you know what, this person is awesome, because they've got 5 to 6 people that have sung their praises in the form of testimonials. Hey, Jamie helped me out with X, Y, Z. Jamie was able to change my mind on a whole bunch of stuff, and he's awesome. Right? Whatever it is for you, take that. Like I say, get a transcription. You can use those as quote cards. You can put them out. You can recycle them down the track. You can stagger them. There's all sorts of things you can do with that, and that is incredibly powerful, right? So think about things like I say, which is also has a simultaneous effect of boosting your own authority as well. Testimonials, engagement. So this is not the most engaged channel, but if there was a ton of people that were subscribing and liking my stuff, then of course subconsciously it would allow that bias to form. Like, okay, this person must be legit. They're being validated by other people. There's also things like, for me, unfortunately, I've got the old award up there, and so therefore there's an element of social proof with that as well. There's an element of authority with that. Now, I don't necessarily need to win an award. I certainly didn't have one for a very, very long time when I was online, and must admit that it did take me quite some time in order to start getting some traction in my business. But when I did, I already had that sense of authority because guess what? I was showing up consistently. I was giving a ton of value in my group. I was going live. I was doing stuff. I was giving all the best stuff I possibly could. I was giving that out to my audience, which then built more and more social proof because then more and more people were liking my stuff and validating me, in which case that was able to kind of grow and grow and grow, basically, which is kind of cool. It's another way to engagement with social proof, just word of mouth. But I suppose it's probably testimonials as well. And then, of course, results. There we go. That's the big one, results, right? So, in fact, I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to put that bold and underline because it's so powerful. But results can be, and there's a lot of people that are probably listening to this or watching this at this point, and you probably think, well, I've got no results. I'm brand new. What do I do? Like, we'll get some results, right? Get some results. And these don't have to be financial. This is a problem with a lot of affiliate marketing is that the barometer of success seems to always be monetary. But what that does is it always puts a carrot in front of you, always puts something outside of yourself to chase, because then, you're not actually looking at your own journey and going, hey, you know what? I just completely reshaped my entire profile. I started attracting some inbound leads. I boosted my engagement. Now there's a whole bunch of people that are liking, commenting my stuff. That's pretty cool. Had a mindset shift. That's pretty cool. Got some inbound leads for the program that I'm promoting. That's pretty cool as well. So these things are what people need to be focusing on, but a lot of the time they are focusing externally. It's called your have an internal locus of control, what you can control based on your own stuff, right? And when you are focusing on those results, it's going to build that social proof. But of course, once you move along the needle a little bit and you develop your business and start helping other people achieve things, then you've got results as well. And then you can say things like, hey, my student just did X, Y, Z. Or, blah, 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 made 50K in a month. Or yada, yada, made, life-changing income, working just 2 hours a day. Now they're making 10 to 20K per month, right? You get those things coming through. But to start with, you just use the non-tangible things. Scarcity, right? So people won't buy stuff if they think that it is easily accessible. Now, I'm going to use an interesting analogy with this one, but if you think about things like water in Western countries, for me, I can walk over to my tap over there and I can pour a very tasty glass of water. Here's one I prepared earlier. And it's clean and it's fresh and all that type of stuff, right? And so therefore, if someone said, oh, all of a sudden you have to pay like $50 for every glass, I'd be like, psh, what? No, are you kidding me? No way. But however, if you're in a situation where water is very scarce, there's only a gallon left. You're on a ship and there's only a gallon left, and you've got to split it up between 50 people or whatever. And the captain says, "Hey, all right, glass of water is now $50." I'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'll buy 5." Like, you know what I mean? Like it creates a sense of scarcity, of course. So therefore, the way that this works is numbers, right? So limited stock available. You see it all the time. Limited numbers, limited stock. And so scarcity works on a twofold basis, in my opinion. So you got the limitation of the numbers available as one. You also got a time scarcity as well, which is kind of like a deadline, right? So if we go, we're going to say time-based scarcity. So it means that you have to make a decision. You have to take an action to purchase that thing before a given deadline. It's very common. Things like launches work really well for this stuff. You can also have limited numbers. So I might say, for example, if I'm doing like a special offer to my audience, I might say, hey, for the next 2 people that jump on XYZ, you're going to get XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get this bonus. You're going to get, this product, et cetera, et cetera. And it's only, 20 grand, whatever it is, right? So therefore, it creates a sense of exclusivity. And probably another one that I'm going to put in there as well. So I'm going to say scarcity / exclusivity. Because this is technically it's the same thing, but exclusivity is a little bit different because exclusivity is basically the feeling of belonging. People love it. Part of Maslow's hierarchy, we want to belong to stuff, want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And so therefore, if there's only 5 spots available and you happen to claim one, then you feel a bit sort of big chested and hey, go me, I'm awesome. So that's why it works really well. So you can limit the numbers, and you can do this as an affiliate as well. A lot of people have this limiting belief. Oh, but I'm an affiliate. I don't. How do I do this? Well, you could have a special bonus that expires in XYZ time. Right? How powerful would that be? Like, hey, the next 5 people have got this special coaching offer. If you jump into this program between XYZ and XYZ date, you're going to get the following things and blah, 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 right? It's going to be awesome. All right, moving on. Liking, trusting. Now, this is kind of 2 interesting things. So how do you build likability? Well, be consistent for starters. If you're always there, showing up, that is going to help build the likability. Authenticity. Got to be yourself, right? I'm a natural goofball. This is the way that I present, the way that I am. So I don't know how to be anyone else. Maybe I should try. Who knows, right? But some people are going to resonate with this message. Some people are going to go, "This guy's a fucking idiot. I don't want anything to do with him," and I'm completely fine with either outcome, right? I don't give a shit. And so therefore, but being authentic, then people are going to resonate. So some people are going to resonate with that. Some people are not. That's fine. I don't care. Don't care if people don't like me. That's fine. The trust factor, and which can be based off the level of consistency. If you're always there, if you're always showing up, you're always doing stuff. You're not sporadically just taking a week off and then coming back, and then you take another 3 days off, and then you're like committing to being there all the time, and then you're not there all the time. You got to be consistent. That's going to build the trust factor. The other thing about trust is this is a twofold. So it could be trust within you as a brand. It could be trust within the product you're selling. But what it really alludes to a lot of the time, the actual buying part of it, is someone's trust within themselves that they can get the results that are promised, right? That one is a little bit harder to develop, but it's something that is highly important if you can, right? So those are the kind of the big things there. I just wanted to recap real quickly. So number 1, we've got authority. The way that you can do that is testimonial, social proof. Consistency, you just got to show up. Basically, it doesn't have to be daily. You just need to make a commitment to that and obviously rock up. You need to have some level of reciprocity. Things like lead magnets, videos, Google Docs, Canva, how to use Canva, for example. It could be, you name it. There's all sorts of things out there. Social proof. Again, this is a bit of a double up with the authority thing, but leverage things like testimonials. We can all get those. Engagement on your social media. That's not that hard to build up. The word of mouth stuff. Hey, Jamie's awesome. You should buy stuff, right? Results. The results that you have, non-tangible and eventually tangible, and then eventually financial, and then eventually deferred financial, which is the idea that your students are getting the results, right? That there builds that social proof, which again builds your authority as well. Next one we've got scarcity, and I'll just put another one there, which is exclusivity. People love to belong to something. Scarcity, they love to buy stuff that is rare. Think about diamonds, for example. Time-based, limited numbers, those are kind of the big ones there. Liking and trusting, so just got to be consistent. The consistency in which you show up, the authenticity in which you show up. Be entertaining as well. It's going to be the other one. Be yourself. If you're just dry as a bone and you're monotone the whole time, then you bore people. But if you're like, hey, up and down and different tonality and all that type of stuff. Anyway, that being said, thank you so much for joining, guys. Hope you got a bit of value out of this. If you're interested in learning more about how I can help you out, there's a link below. It's going to lead you through to my free Facebook group. There's nothing to buy there. It's just a bunch of value and help a lot of people out with their affiliate marketing and online business ventures. So with all that being said, my name is Jamie Gardiner. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks very much.